Hello everybody, it's Sarah and today I am here again with another video. It's been a few weeks. Today's video is going to be a summer wrap-up slash holiday wrap-up since my holidays, since I'm in uni, are from July until September, and I actually read enough to warrant a wrap-up. I read 2 new books and done a whole bunch of rereads. But let me just get right into that. The first book I read was at the beginning of July during my first hospital stay, and that was Rune Marks by Joanne M. Harris. And if you have been on my channel for any time, you will know that The Gospel of Loki by Joanne M. Harris is one of my favorite books of all time, and one of the books that I have read so far that has the best characterization of Loki ever. And this book is kind of set in the same universe, as in it's set like a few hundred or 1,000 years after Ragnarok and after everything that happened in the Gospel of Loki, which of course is a retelling of Norse mythology. And it follows a girl who has something called a rune mark, and she's kind of weird. She can kind of do magic and she doesn't really know what's going on, and she meets this guy one day who is an old man with only one eye, who sets her on a quest to find a special thing, and the whole story starts from there. I really enjoyed this book. I did not enjoy it quite as much as The Gospel of Loki. You don't need to read The Gospel of Loki beforehand. However, it is wise for you to kind of have some understanding of Norse mythology. Like, for example, Rick Riordan's books you can read without any knowledge of the mythology that is the center of the book. Like, you could read the Magnus Chase books without knowing anything about Norse mythology, and it's kind of getting explained. However, this book I would recommend you know something of Norse mythology. Like, you should at least know what Ragnarok is and all that stuff. However, I still think it's a really good book. I would definitely recommend it. You can just Google the main things about Norse mythology and you'll still be able to read it, or you could read The Gospel of Loki beforehand. Both are possible. The second book I read is a book that I already reviewed. I will leave the review in the link down below, and that is Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. And I enjoyed this book as well. However, I did not think that it lived up to the crazy hype that it got on social media, on YouTube as well as on Twitter and Goodreads. But I won't go too far into this book. I would recommend you read it. But if you want to know more about my thoughts on this book, you can go and watch my review. And then I reread a total of 17 books, which I am kind of a little bit proud of. I read all of them at the end of August and September, and the books that I reread were all Laurel K. Hamilton books. I reread, I think, the first 17 books of the Anita Blake series, excluding the 8th book because I fucking hate the 8th book. And then I also reread the first 2 books in the Mary Gentry series. The Anita Blake series is probably one of my most reread series of all time, but it has been quite a while since I last reread them. I still enjoy them, but it's kind of gotten to be a type of love-hate, because I really can't stand Anita. I can't stand half of her boyfriends and the men she has to deal with. And it has a lot of quite problematic shit. Like, especially the beginning is kind of low-key homophobic, which was kind of to read about. And she is so judgmental. Anita, I mean, is so judgmental. It's kind of crazy. And then she's also like really discriminatory against atheists, which as an atheist myself just is really weird to read about. I mean, I know it's from an American author, and like Americans especially have an issue with atheists, but yeah, that was really weird. But the reason why I also wanted to reread all of the books, why I didn't just stop when I started getting the issues, is that I finally want to finish the series up to the most current book that has been released. I think there's already like 24 books or something, and I'm almost at the point where I can start reading new books, and I really wanted to do that, and it's like really enjoyable. I Need the Blake at this point is a series that I only read so I can complain about it. But yeah, it's just funny rereading this whole series, and it kind of got me out of my reading slump because it's a really easy to read series. But yeah, that was all I read in the last 3 months. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please tell me down below if you have read any of the books I have read and what you thought about them, if you're interested in reading them. If you like this video, please think about maybe giving it a thumbs up and maybe also subscribing. All the links to my social media are in the description box down below, and again I will leave the review to Children of Blood and Bone down in the description box below as well. So go and check those out, and I hope I'll see you soon. Bye!